Hello, friends. Welcome to Adobe Live. I am your host, Paco Siller, and I'm here with our good friend, Shireen. Shireen, how you doing? No stranger to Adobe Live. How have you been?
Good. How are you, Paco?
I'm doing well myself. I'm very excited for the show that we have in store for today. So we're going to be
Hello,
looking at
hello,
how to
friends.
use
Welcome to Adobe Live. I
Firefly
am your
with
host, Paco
Adobe
Siller, and I'm
Premiere.
here with our good
So
friend,
yeah, Shireen, why don't you let
Shireen.
us know what we're
Shireen, how
doing?
you doing? No
Sure.
stranger to Adobe
So
Live. How have you
today
been?
we're going to be
I'm good.
talking
How are you,
about
Paco?
Firefly, Premiere Pro, color. We're going to be talking through essentially a product reel, a demo reel, showing how to use color with different types of shots within Premiere, all new things. For those of you who are new here, don't know me, my name is Shireen, and I have a luxury creative marketing and advertising agency called Ziba Studios. We've worked with globally renowned companies, including Adobe, Miss USA, Vogue Philippines, Los Angeles Fashion Week, Katie 30 Years, YSL Beauty, and more. And I'm really excited for the stream today. Thank you all so much for being here. Let's first dive into Firefly boards. So this is something newer within Firefly. And if you don't know how to get here, I will show you. What you're going to do is go to firefly.adobe.com. And then on the left, you'll see you have all these different options. So what you want to do is go to boards. And we also do have this linked in the description. So if you want to click that, you'll be taken directly to this so you can follow along. So
Correct.
this,
Yeah, I do want to reiterate that if you all want to follow along and get access to this template, it is available in the description. So go ahead and click it. You'll see kind of a blank template. Just hit remix, and that will give you the option to actually fill that in and use it yourself, just how Shireen has done here. So go ahead and do that. And while I have the floor, I just do want to say I am looking at the chat. So for any friends that are joining us live, please feel free to ask any questions, any comments, just engage with us in any way. That's the awesome thing about catching us live. It's a two-way street. So if you want to kind of bring your ideas or have any questions of the show, let us know. I'll be looking at both YouTube and Behance. And I already see some friends in there. I see Adara. We got Sean in the chat. Good to see you, my friends. Again, safe space. That's what Adobe Live is all about. We're forever students. So any questions, feel free to holler and I'll ask them to Shireen. So anyways, back to you,
amazing.
Shireen.
Thanks, Paco. So this is the board where you can essentially storyboard your video. So we have some rough concepts here to get a general idea of what the video is going to be once we go into Premiere. So this is more of your pre-production phase. It helps you figure out things like lighting, the tone, location, styling. So just to go through this real quick, I just put in some placeholders essentially so that you can get an idea of what this looks like. So for call time, we have, in my opinion, the best time to be shooting, which is golden hour. So this is sunrise and sunset, so around 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Roll sheet, I just put A. Gearless, I put Sony Alpha. I did also end up shooting on a iPhone, so you will see two different sorts of footage once we get into Premiere. And subject, obviously Adobe Live. Lighting reference is golden, so we're going for something more warm toned, summery, just to match that whole like summer beachy sort of a vibe. And the tone color is neutral warm. Motion, I put none. We may actually end up adding motion though, with keyframes and all of that. So TBD. Styling, I put Miami and location Miami. So for the storyboard, that is essentially what you are seeing. Essentially a summer, golden, warm Miami sort of a vibe, and then adding text that says Adobe. So this is kind of the general feel that we're going for. And when you're presenting this to a client or even your team, this helps them to figure out what the general direction is that we're going to. And then there was also a video that I generated using Adobe Firefly, and I will play this for you real quick just to give you an overview of what this is before we do get into it. It's essentially a drone shot of Miami Beach, and it came out really good, so let's take a look at it.
Yeah, let's check it out.
So this is really great if you don't have the ability to take a drone shot. Let's say you don't have a drone or you lost your drone or whatever the case may be.
Or you don't
Um,
want to get the license for
or
a
that,
drone.
or that,
It's
or you don't have your license.
yeah, I mean, I am drone Part 107 certified, and you would swear that you're learning how to be a pilot.
Yeah,
The
literally.
test is not easy, so this is a quick workaround.
Exactly.
Very,
So
very smart way to do it.
exactly. Like there have been times where I needed to get drone shots for weddings that I've worked on previously. And so like I don't have a drone anymore, so that's why I'm saying like this is a quick fix. If you need a sort of drone shot and you don't have one, here you go. The
There you
power of
go.
AI. So let's go into Premiere. And you'll see this is that drone shot. And before we even get into editing and all of that, let's go through a quick overview of Premiere for those of you who are new here. Maybe this is your first time using Premiere. So we have all the different panels, and right now we are in the Edit tab. So it'll come preset. It'll look pretty similar to this. So if you're following along and using Premiere for the first time, this should be pretty easy for you to follow along. So up here we have the project panel. This is where we have our bins. So think of this as your folder structure. So first we have sequences, and when I toggle this down, you'll see that we have the Final Cut, Rough Cut, and Working Cut sequences. And then the next thing that we have is videos. So these are all organized by essentially type of videos. So we have the Firefly board video, which is this Miami drone shot that you're seeing. And then we have the Sony a7 III footage, which there's a lot. Then we have sun, which is my dog. Then we have texture. So this is a really cool thing that I also made using Firefly. So I will show you that real quick. It's essentially like this metallic texture that you can put on top of videos as a really cool effect. And we'll get into that. And once we get into color, you're gonna see it's gonna look really cool.
Did
Um,
you generate that yourself, or was that a stock asset?
no, I generated that myself, but it looks
Oh,
like a
look
stock
at
asset.
you.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, I kind of got a sneak peek on how we're going to use this, so excited to
Yeah.
have you let us show what you do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do wanna kind of emphasize the folder structure. That's huge, right? When working with video, is you want to stay organized, not just dump everything on the bin and then find assets. You know, might get away with it with smaller projects that don't have a lot of video, but when you start working on productions and big editing timelines, this is half the battle, right? You
Yep.
really want to take the time to organize your folders, properly put the assets in them, just so you can quickly reference them as you get into these behemoths of timelines that can come in Premiere. So yeah,
Exactly.
very good pro tips.
Totally. And when you're working with a team, this is so essential. I actually would highly
Mm-hmm.
recommend that you take the time to really nail down your folder structure before
Right.
even bringing on a team sort of a thing, because once you need to share projects, assets, go back and forth, like knowing where everything is at helps to streamline everything, and then just it's just more efficient.
Yeah, there's no essentially right or wrong way to do folder structure. I mean, every team's gonna have some way or another. I mean, they all kind of follow the same format, more or less. So yeah, just figure out what your team is using, and then they'll have a naming or folder structure that you can reference. It'll be easy for them to look into. So yeah,
Yeah,
don't be intimidated. Just work
yeah,
with something that works.
exactly. Uh, Going back into bins real quick, the next one that we have is West Beauty. And then we have some photos. So these were also generated using Adobe Firefly. This is what you're actually seeing as the background right now. And then we also have this one, more like the palm trees, that's beach. And then this one came out so good. This is my
Oh my
dog's son
goodness,
at Hard Rock Stadium.
is this real?
No, I wish it was.
Okay, this is so
It
great.
looks so good. Like everything down to like the NFL jersey, like the text. I'm just like, wow, this looks really good.
That's
Um,
adorable.
Thank you. And then we have some music. So this is music that I was telling Papa this right before the stream. This is music that I made myself using AI and Premiere. Like I literally made music in Premiere using the music effects and essential sound and all of that. So we can get into that later. I just thought I would share. It's probably not the most typical way that people go about making music, but it works.
Yeah, that actually that was really funny to me because I like to check if we're using copyrighted music, and
Yep.
she's like, "No, I actually made this." I'm like,
Yep.
"Wow, you're a
Yeah, I
DJ
just made
now? I
that.
had no idea."
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I am actually certified too as a DJ. Just fun
no
fact.
way. Okay, this makes way more sense. Wow, what can't you do?
For
Goodness
real, at this
gracious.
point. So let's go into actually the timeline, the rough cut, all that. So first, the rough cut. This may be called different things depending on your team and all that. Essentially, you are taking all your clips, putting it on the timeline. This could be called a string out. It may be called selects. Selects is usually when you go and like select the actual clips that you want. So this right now, we're just having everything on the timeline, and this gives us the ability to see what we're working with and then go and like actually make a cut. So let's go into a working cut, and from there we can actually start to work on making a cut. Before we do that, I will play you the entire timeline so you can see what we're working with, and feel free to drop in the chat what parts you think we should use, what kind of a direction you think we should go in. It'll be fun to make this more interactive and get community feedback and all of that. So let's go ahead and play that, and while that's playing, feel free to let us know in the chat what you think. So
All right. Awesome.
that's what we're working with.
All right. So we kind of have a bit of everything. We have some product shots, some beauty shots, some dog shots. I believe we saw sun in there.
Yes.
Very cool. Nice.
And we'll be going through how to color all these different types of shots. And there's actually some really cool features in there for beauty specifically when it comes to things like texture and skin. That's something that I know a lot of people who have edited beauty videos, that's something that I've done for a very long time. That is something we have needed for a long time, and Adobe finally has that built in, which makes that retouching part so much easier. So I'm very thankful for that and excited to show you that. We can actually start there because
Let's do it. Yeah.
yeah, why not? Let's start there. So let's go somewhere here. So I'm gonna select this clip, and just so you can see what I'm doing in the timeline, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. And from here, we're gonna go over to color, and we can start working in color. So you'll see that right now there is a grade on them just to get a like first pass at color essentially, and I'll show you what it looks like without the grade. So if we click this icon right here that has the eye with the slash on it, you'll see like a before and after. So this is with the grade, this is without. So what we want to do is essentially right now focus on texture. So you'll see within detail, we have this part that says texture. So we are going to click on the mouse and then I'm just sliding down and you'll see that that texture is starting to get refined. The pores are starting to kind of like go away. You're getting that smoothing, blurring effect without it looking too much and fake. That is a problem that I've had in the past before when it comes to skin retouching and all of that. Like, essentially, it would impact the whole face, and then you're losing texture on things like eyelashes or the lips or hair. So, right now, you're getting a really natural retouching where this is like so amazing and something I wish we had years ago. So here's a look at the before and after with that skin retouching, with the texture, and you can see like that is there's a difference for sure. And you might be thinking like, oh, okay, but maybe that's not real, blah blah blah. Like you have to realize that depending on what camera you're using, so in my case it's a Sony Alpha A7 III, it will be picking up texture and all of that, and depending on lighting, all the things, people have pores, that's normal. And this is essentially how to create that beauty filter effect in a way that's very natural looking. So I'm very excited about that. Something else that you could toggle is the sharpness. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. This,
And
you'll see
did you mask to only focus on your face, or is it just applying it globally to the video?
globally, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
Yeah,
yeah, and it's with you're scrolling up and down, right? That's kind of one of the new things with this new module. Just kind of reiterate is it's a lot of kind of scrolling up and down to tune those sliders instead of going right and left, which we're used to. You kind of go up and down to do it in real time, which is more intuitive in my opinion.
yeah,
So
agreed.
as you saw how quickly Shireen was able to apply that very cool effect. I mean, it was just literally in seconds. So
Seconds. Yeah.
yeah, nice stuff.
Yeah, like that is something that before would take time. You would have to go in and like mask everything. Like, let's take out the lips, let's take out the eyelashes, let's take out the eyebrows. And then like we just globally applied like one thing within a few seconds and there you go. Like that's amazing.
That's awesome.
Um, if you do want to copy and paste that, you also can. So I'm gonna press Command C and then let's go to this clip, for example. I'll press Command V. Just like that, we've applied that skin smoothing, blurring texture detail. So that right there speeds up your workflow by so much for retouching skin. You can literally just go Command V again, boom, done. Like that, amazing. So you can apply that across all the beauty shots. And there you go, smooth skin. Amazing.
Very cool.
We can also retouch the skin. So let's go to somewhere like here. So this looks pretty good to me actually. The blush, obviously blush is pink. Some clients may want that toned down a little bit. They may want like a global LUT essentially applied to it. So let's talk through that real quick. So we can start with temperature. This has already been adjusted globally. So I'm just going to click and you'll see this wheel is coming up on the left. And so you can essentially slide in any direction and it will globally change the colors. So right now I'm just going to go up and you'll see we're getting a bit warmer and that is a bit too warm in my opinion. So we're going to bring it back down a little bit. So we get a nice neutral sort of spot. I'm gonna keep going down. Somewhere around here looks good to me. So I'm just gonna let go of the mouse and now we have applied that color temperature adjustment. So then from here, you could get even more granular with it with the color shift. So this is me just hovering over the color shift, right? And you're gonna be like, whoa, why do you look like an alien? Um, because we're doing like saturation shift, hue shift, lumen shift, like all that. So this is something that we don't necessarily need to mess around with, but you can if you want to like really get granular with the color. So let's just, for the sake of seeing what it does, we'll just go ahead and toggle this a little bit. You'll see that we're bringing down the orange tones. So now the skin is looking more fair instead of being more of like a light medium-ish sort of tone. It's going like to fair. So this is a way if you're working with foundations, for example, and the shade match is a little bit off, you need to adjust it. This is a way that you can get the perfect exact shade match for the foundation. I know that for beauty that can be tricky sometimes. Let's say like you're going on Sephora or something and you're looking for a foundation and you're like, it's fair neutral, it's fair medium, it's fair olive, blah, blah, blah. And then you look at the photo and it looks totally different, or the video and it looks different. There's so many factors that go into that. So this is how we can make sure that this is perfectly matching the foundation shade. Do you know what I mean?
I do now. Yeah, you taught me something new.
Yeah. So that's that. Um, And then if you want to apply something globally, let's say you want to add like a LUT, right? You can go right here to sequence. So we're gonna press plus and then add sequence LUT. And then all of the LUTs that you would normally see within the Lumetri color panel are here. So you just click that, you'll see they're all still here. It's just within color sequence now. So let's just apply any random one just so you can kind of see what it looks like. That does not look good, so let's change that.
It's not true to the foundation.
No, it's not.
Yeah, LUTs are pretty intense with what I've worked with in Premiere. I mean, most of the time when you add them, you do want to tone them down.
Yep.
Rarely do I know people slap on a LUT and leave it at 100%. But
Exactly.
it obviously, when you apply it though, it gives you a solid idea of what it's doing with the color tones, the hue shifts, or whatnot.
Yeah.
Some of them are just a little too intense.
Yeah, usually I never leave them on 100% for the same reasons.
No,
It's always just like,
rare.
whoa.
It's
Yeah.
too much. But I mean, I do like to kind of slide them down and then stack some to kind of come up with your own look.
Yeah.
Instead of just calling it like a one and done, you essentially come up with a recipe for something that is unique to your own color grading, whichever way you might want to take that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously applying them at 100%, it gives you a solid idea of what it's doing.
Yeah, definitely. And thankfully we can adjust the intensity.
There's the
So if we
intensity,
just,
right.
yep. I am pressing on this. Oh, there we go. You may not be able to see this on the live, and it's kind of lagging on my end a little bit, so I apologize for that. But just know the intensity is there and it can be adjusted. So we're just gonna take this LUT off because we're not gonna use that. I just want to show you you have the option if you want to, and that does apply to the whole sequence. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. We're gonna right click and cut. Now we've gotten rid of that. So that's a pretty good idea of working with color, skin retouching, texture, all of that for beauty. Let's go back to that first shot with the drip and the texture and the firefly drone shot and all of that. I want to show you how to change the color on the drip. And this is something that you could use as a repeating asset throughout the video to kind of tie in the whole video. That could be like a graphic that essentially is like branding, visual identity, something that you could be like, that's like your signature in your video sort of a thing. So let's go back to the beginning. And you'll see right now it's gray. And this doesn't look very Miami to me. So let's make it Miami. So this is the drip texture. This is on the third layer right now. And make sure to select that, then go into color. So now that we're in color, you'll see on the top right, this is selected. We're making sure that we are only adjusting that metallic drip texture. So there's multiple ways that you can go about changing this color. What we're going to start off with is the temperature. So again, just click on this and then I'm going to slide up. And you'll see now it's becoming a little bit more golden. And we're going to take it to the right. And now it's getting a bit more red, more pink. We're essentially going for something kind of like this sort of a pink, like kind of like a Miami pink. This is looking much better already against the ocean. It definitely matches like that Miami aesthetic that we all know and love. So now that we play this, you'll see it's pink.
Very
And
cool.
this is that same exact texture, and it's brown here because I applied essentially like temperature to it so it can match the product shot for the jewelry. So that's a very versatile way that you could use temperature to make these assets, like the drips and all of that, specific to whatever exact type of shot that you're working on. So I'm going back to the beginning.
Let's do. Could you go to the timeline real quick? I'm just gonna have you
Yes.
mute the music so that we're scrubbing.
Sounds good.
It's not just going in our ears the whole
Yeah.
time. Um,
I'm waiting for
I
that
guess
to load.
is it waiting? Okay. Oh, goodness gracious!
I
Did
know.
I break the stream?
Okay, there we go.
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
Okay, and you can just mute the track.
Okay,
Perfect.
there
Okay,
we go.
back to color.
Yeah. Okay, so um let's start to make some cuts from here and make kind of like essentially our working cut. And again, let us know in the chat if there's any parts that you think we should keep in, move out. So I'm just going to bring the whole timeline. And another way that you can do this is by pressing the backspace key, and you can see all of that will get condensed onto your timeline. You can press
Great
that again.
shortcut.
Yeah, you can press that
Mhm.
again. It'll expand it. So that way, that's a really easy way while you're editing to get an idea of like, okay, I have this clip there, that clip there. I want to bring these together. And you just kind of go back and forth until you get the right sequence essentially. So we know for sure we want to start off with essentially this title, right? The drone shot, it's a very strong intro. It has the text on there. It has the pink drips, and that looks amazing. So the next shot that we have is this jewelry. I don't think that really makes sense going from that to that, so let's pick something else. Let's go towards the end. Let's see. We could do this water.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna select this and we're gonna do Command C. And then I'm gonna backspace. Basically just moving everything over. And then we'll go back here, Command V, just to bring in those clips. Slide
Can I
them
show you
over.
a really cool way to do that?
Yes.
That's nice. Okay, so go back, hit Command Z. So we're just kind of back at our starting point. So keep hitting Command Z. So it closes the gap. Yep, keep going, keep going. Okay, so now put the timeline where you want the clip to go. So kind of where it was gonna be. So on the left, like where the clip you want it to go. Just put the timeline there, the timeline marker.
Okay.
Okay, now click on the clip that you want. So go all the way to the blue one. Okay, and then click and hold that, and then do Command Option. So click and hold Command Option at the same time. And you're gonna see that, yeah, okay, you're gonna see this little icon that is like kind of like a little loop. So hit Command Option at the same time.
Okay.
All right, and then drag it to where the timeline marker is. Yep, keep going, keep going. Yeah, right there. And then let go of the mouse. Check that out.
Amazing.
So
Thank you.
yeah, it rippled moved everything, so you don't have to open the timeline and then close it. So it's Command Option, click and drag, and then it keeps your timeline tight, and then it just kind of reshifts everything to where that clip was. So huge time saver. It was like a game changer.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Always learning something new.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so now we have
That makes me, yeah. Okay, so we got like a drone water shot, and then we have an actual water
like
shot.
an actual water
that's
shot.
flowing nicely.
Totally. The brown is throwing me a little bit off, so we're gonna get rid of that. And then we could just duplicate the pink one. So for that, we could do Option and then click and drag this over. Let me do that one more time. We did end up trimming a little bit of that clip. There we go. So now it's more cohesive. So Let me just expand the timeline. We have something here that should not be there. We're going to get rid of those. Going to extend this out. And then we're just going to make sure that all of these are aligned so that they're starting and ending at the same time. So I'm going to bring, Command Z, bring these over. So right now we have 2 metallic drips. This is where you can get a little bit creative. So if you want to bring down the position, you can kind of like stack them a little bit. And right now that obviously looks weird. So you can scale it up. That way when they go down together, it's kind of like flowing really nicely. And you can change the colors here too. So let's see which one. Let's go to the one that's on the second layer. And then we'll go to color. And then we're going to select that one. And let's change the color for this one to something else. So going back into temperature. And we're just going to bring that down to get rid of more of that golden hue. And then let's try bringing this to the left. So now it's a little bit more green. We're just going to keep going. Now I'm just going down. Now it's still like, now it's like a darker green. Now let's go more to the left.
Yeah, what I love about this new color mode is that you have essentially the color wheel, so you know when you're dragging these directions what color it's going to, right? So you're kind of trying to make it more green or aqua, and then you're just kind of pushing it towards the colors there. So it's just a great visual way to try and get to this color instead of like, doing sliders or the curves. I mean, as much as I love curves, they're just not the easiest to work with when you're trying to color grade off of them. So this just kind of makes things a little bit more visually appealing to like color grade with.
Yeah, exactly. And then now going into balance, I'm essentially taking that green to make it more blue to match the water. So now we have like pink and blue.
Nice.
And this is looking already so much better. So let's just look at that real quick.
Okay, we got the pink swirl going into some aqua waters, matching it. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the stacking effect.
Yeah, it
cool.
looks really cool. So now let's go back to edit. If it loads.
Let's think in here.
Yep.
There it is.
It's still loading. Okay, there we go. So next clip. So now we have drone shot, we have water shot. Let's bring in one of these shots so we could do the palm trees. So let's try Falco's tip. We're gonna do Command Option.
Yep, Command Option, click, and then drag it to where you want it to go.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes it helps zooming in a little bit so we don't clip like little edges of a clip, but I think you nailed it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, you got to see the whole timeline on where it's going, but I think you actually nailed it there. So cool. We just have a little bit of a gap on the right, but yep, you did it without having to do too much timeline opening. So
amazing.
Cool. Look at you.
So now let's take a look at this. Intro shot, texture shot, palm tree, beach shot. So let's say we want to keep that drip going. We could just highlight these and then press Option, bring that over.
Nice. So Option essentially duplicates the layers.
Yeah.
So you just got to make sure you let go of the click before Option, otherwise it won't do it.
Yep.
And now we have it duplicated. Easy peasy.
Yeah. And that is essentially how you can do something like cohesive. So those 3 clips by themselves could be like a video essentially. And I know we're working with a lot of different clips here. So we could separate these into like 5 different types of videos essentially, where it's like we have more of the Firefly AI sorts of videos, then we have more of a jewelry video, then we have product shots, beauty, dog. Like it's very versatile what you can do with all of this. Um, and color is a way that you can just bring all, yeah, this is so cute.
So cute.
Color is a way that you can just essentially bring it all together. So sticking with the whole like Firefly theme, let's bring this one over to the beginning as well. And that basically goes with that whole section. So let's do Command Option again.
Just a quick time check. We have about 25 minutes left.
Okay, thank you. So bring this in.
Oh, I think I heard your dog bark. He knows he's on. He knows he's on screen. I love it.
That's actually Moon.
Moon. Oh, so they're sun and moon. Okay.
Yeah,
Are they opposite colors?
they are actually.
That's adorable.
Let's just bring that one over. Okay, so for this one, there's currently no motion on here, and let's add some motion just to give it a bit more dynamic movement. So, and by the way, with this is right now set to fill so that it's taking up the whole like aspect ratio. If you go to fit, you'll see this is what the whole image looks like. And for the sake of this video, since we're not doing vertical, we're just gonna press fill. And then we could bring up the position, so the y-axis. So we're seeing something kind of like this. And let's go back to this previous clip. Let's see. So right now, this one is going up. So we could do something. We could start, essentially here, we're going to add a keyframe. And then we'll go towards the end of that clip. And then could move him up a little bit. Don't want to cut off his eyebrows. So it's going to be a little subtle. And then we can go into for effects controls. So let's go to window controls. Oh, these things moved around. Usually I on the left. We're gonna go to motion, and then within position, you'll see that we have the keyframes. So I'm going to click and drag, select them, and then right click. And then we are going to go to, you can go to temporal or spatial interpolation. I'm going to go to temporal. I'm just going to press ease in. And this is a way to basically easy in the keyframes so it's more smooth of a playback. So let's just play this back and you'll see it's a subtle sort of like movement. And let's see, we'll play this. So this is going up with the background shot, and this one's also going up. So just to keep the whole drip theme going, we're gonna press Option, bring this over, and then let's press play. Cute.
Very cute. It kind of has Miami Dolphins colors.
Yeah, totally. I'm like,
Yeah.
we could even make the pink orange to make it really match. We could. I think we should.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We have to now.
Yeah. Let's go to color. And then, all right, so on the right, you'll see that pink one is selected. So now let's try to make that orange. We'll go to temperature. And then let's bring that up.
And then kind of going off that color wheel, the orange colors I'd say are kind of like on the top right. So it seems like we're just gonna move the arrows towards that direction and visually look to see what looks the most orange for us.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit of trial and error until you get the right color, pretty much.
And that's the cool thing about Premiere and essentially a lot of the Creative Cloud apps is sliders are free, we like to say. So you can just kind of slide and trial and error and see what works. And, one way to see how an effect works too is just slide it all the way to the right and slowly dial it back till it visually looks good. But we love sliders here on Adobe Live. Great way to experiment.
Yeah. So we have kind of like a good base from the temperature. Now let's go to balance to try to refine the orange. And It's a little bit more brown. We'll just keep going.
And are you kind of moving the mouse up, down, left, right with the balance?
Basically, like, do you see that blue arrow? I'm just, it's kind of, sorry, it's kind of
Oh, I see
small
it
and really,
now.
yeah,
Okay, so you're still looking at the color wheel. I see it. It's kind of like, I don't know, to the, what, 7, 8 o'clock position?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm essentially just sliding the
I
mouse
see you're
over.
sliding it out. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Basically sliding to the left, and so now we have a little bit more of like that golden yellow color going up now, so we can get more into the orange.
Yeah, okay, that's looking a little more orange. We're
Yeah,
doing it,
we're
folks.
getting close,
We're getting
closer.
close.
I'm just sliding up, sliding up. Now we're getting to
Yeah,
now we're getting to
okay.
orange.
Dan Marino over here. Nice. That balance really did the trick there to try
Yeah.
and dial in that orange. Very cool.
And then we could try to refine the orange a little bit even more, like just to match the orange on the shirts that you're seeing in the background and like on the jersey and all that. So now I'm just sliding down to bring that back. And this is just like a refining process at this point, just kind of sliding around until we get the right shade of orange. So right now it's looking a little bit too dark. And this is a part with color where you can really take your time. And this is something even with skin tones and all of that, like just taking the time to refine it until it's the right shade, essentially.
Mhm.
I don't know about you, I've gone through 30 rounds of revisions before just to get the right color.
From a client or like
Um,
personally?
like a in-house sort of position.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I'd say
Using
were you
something.
using the scopes to look at it, or was it more like of a visual thing that you or whoever was going after?
Uh,
'Cause-
it was like a whole team essentially, and like working
30.
for like different clients, essentially retailers, like they all need something specific. So yeah, sometimes
30. That's, man, I've done like I think 7 or 8, and by then I want to, go outside and touch grass, but
yeah, yeah,
30,
30's a
that's
lot.
whew,
I
I
know.
feel for ya.
I know.
I feel for ya.
Um, so this orange is looking good enough to me.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think that's solid.
yeah. So let's go back and then we'll just take a look at this. And something else that we could adjust is that shade of blue in the ocean just to make it pop a little bit more. I know that's something that we don't really always understand what that means as video editors, colorists, graphic designers, creatives. Like sometimes we'll just be told, make it pop. Usually that just means increase the contrast or like color.
Yeah,
So
like the vibrance, or
yeah,
like even adding like some exposure to it, because that video does seem a little
like
dark
flat.
compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
So contrast would probably do it some justice, like especially in the midtones, it looks like. And then yeah, kind of bringing it up, I'd say. And you know, what would be really fun if we have time, but kind of those static images that you have, if we took it into Firefly boards and tried to animate them, that would be cool.
What do you mean?
Like take the static image of the water or your dog, so we just bring it into Firefly boards and just add video to it, and then bring it back to Premiere. This is extra credit if we have time at the end, but it would be fun to
What do
show
you
how you can essentially animate a static asset, because you could do it all in Firefly boards.
wait, really? I did not know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you would just well, here, let me show you real quick, because it it can work in the background, and it works from the browser, which is the really cool thing. So the picture of your dog, bring it in. So just bring it into Firefly boards.
Um, I was actually looking for it before the stream and I
You
couldn't
can't
even
find
find it,
it.
even though I generated it in here. Yeah.
Do you remember what boards you put it on?
No.
Okay, it's all good. Let's go back to Premiere. If we have some extra time, we can try and troubleshoot and find that. But it's a really cool way to utilize Firefly boards. Is you can add animation and motion to static assets, which is really cool.
That's very cool. And like I've generated video from it and like the static assets, but then I brought them into Premiere to add the motion.
Yeah, to like off the static, but this will actually like make the dog move.
Oh, what?
Sorry,
Wait,
son.
what? That is so
Like
cool.
it animates a video like if it was an actual moving like shot, which is crazy.
Okay, wait, question. Can I bring in the photo and then have it reference the photo and then it
Yeah,
animates
yeah,
it?
exactly. You would bring the photo into Firefly and then add video to it. So you can, I mean, you just need the asset though. You need like the actual shot of your dog or of the water if you have that in your Finder somewhere.
Yes. I have the photo.
Okay, yeah. So let's go to boards.
Okay.
You might have to click on the project, like the one that says Untitled May 4th. The tile that should, yeah. So click on that. And then bring in the photo asset to it.
Just drag it
So
in?
just drag it into the board, yeah. Okay, so then click on it. Let's see. Do the right dots. Click on the right dots. Let's see. Open in Firefly video. Oh, it's in the beta.
Of course.
Okay, all good. Never mind. We'll go back to Premiere. We can't do it if you bring it into the Firefly page, so not the boards.
Okay.
You'll be able to animate it there. So if you bring it into, yeah, you would just go to generate on the left-hand side. And then you can do generate video. So then you would bring the asset there. So let's just do it in the background. Yeah, so click on generate video, the tile below.
Oh, this one.
Uh-huh. And then the first frame, so you would drag in good old sun into that. So you can drag it in or just reference it. Yeah. And then we might have to change, you can change the aspect ratio. So where it says 16 by 9, go to 9 vertical 9 by 16. There we go. And then maybe let's click on the frame. There we go. And then you would just describe the video. Just we could say something like animate the dog so his tail is wagging and looking happy. And then we'll let that generate. And then we could go back to Premiere because it'll take a second, but then we can see the results. It's actually really cool.
This is so cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Animate the dog so his tail is wagging and he's happy. Cool. And then just hit generate.
Generate.
So that's going to work in the background. And then, yeah, let's go back to Premiere in the meantime while we wait for that. We'll see. It's going to be a fun surprise waiting for us.
That'll be a fun surprise. Okay, so we'll go back to edit. Well, this loads.
Yeah, luckily it's what's really cool about Firefly is that it works off your browser. So it's not like an extra Adobe app that's taken a lot of resources.
Yeah.
So it does, I mean, obviously generating 3D video and all that can be very computational,
Oh, yes.
intense, but it just runs off Chrome, which is insane.
Yeah, that is something that I really love about working off the browser.
Mm-hmm.
It's quicker.
It's quicker.
It's
Yeah, it
not
doesn't have the
as
resources.
intense on your computer yet.
Yeah.
So seeing that we do have about 10 minutes left, let's try to make a final cut. I know there's a lot of footage that we have here that we didn't get around to today into making into a video. We essentially just have like one, which is totally fine. We already covered so much with color and movement and keyframes and all of that. And we have one pretty good, solid, like cohesive video here that really utilizes a lot of the Firefly assets. So let's go ahead and for now we can just get rid of these. Maybe we can come back to them another time. We'll just press delete. And then from here, let's make this bigger. So you'll see we have 4 clips now. And we do still have that music. We can come back to that. And while that asset is generating in the background, let's just take a look at what we have so far.
Cool. You can unmute the track, obviously, if we want to see the whole thing in action. So there we go.
So we can go ahead and unmute. And let's start it from the beginning.
Very cool. Very Miami.
Very Miami.
to what's the name of that the very popular strip that everybody goes to? What's it called?
Like Ocean Ave?
Ocean Ave. Yeah, I feel like we're at Ocean Ave at midnight.
Yeah. Like that's kind of like the vibe, like daytime, nighttime, all the neon lights, all of that. Like, um, we have some time. We could go back and change that blue drip into more of a green to match the palm trees.
Yeah, let's try.
So
I'd say we have about 5-6 minutes.
yeah, just like real quick, we'll go and tweak that color. So let's go to the blue one. We'll make sure that's selected, and then we'll go to balance. And then let's bring that to the left. And you'll see it's already becoming a bit more green. We kind of want it to match more of the palm trees in the background. So dragging until we get that right. Something kind of like that. That may be a little bit like too green. It looks more of like a nighttime neon green. So let's just keep adjusting. I'm just gonna bring this down a little bit. And then we'll bring it back in. And then go up a little just to try to bring a little bit more yellow into it. Still going, still going. And then from here, let's go to temperature. And then I'm going to adjust this. We're going to bring it to the right. And then we'll just keep adjusting a little bit. And for the sake of time, we're just going to say that is good enough.
Yeah,
Obviously, you can
good.
take,
It looks
yeah,
like it blends.
yeah, blends much better. So we'll go back to edit.
And when you have a, I think the asset might be rendered already, so
Yeah.
I can check out what we have.
Let's see.
Okay, so hit play.
That was so cute.
Oh my god! And I got people to cheer because like a touchdown scored. And
That is adorable.
isn't that so cool? Like
that is so cool.
The jumbotron is moving. The fans are moving. The people on the field are moving. That is so cool.
There's so much detail. This is
I know.
amazing.
The liquid in the beer.
Yeah, it's not even moving out.
It's not. It is moving, but it's not spilling.
Yeah.
So I don't know what gravity they're in, but it's very impressive. So it's a really cool trick. So essentially, for the video that you have, all those other static images you have, you could add movement to them because the first one kind of is like a moving drone shot.
Yeah.
And then the other ones you can add animation to them. So we kind of have this like cool. Like video that's like could be like go on Instagram or whatnot, but it's just a cool way to make the edits a little more dynamic than just like the zoom ins or the zoom outs.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Very cool.
And then yeah, we do need an outro clip for this. That could be used as an outro clip. We have about 2 minutes, so
we could do it.
We can try. We can try.
You could download the clip and just bring it in.
Let's do that real quick. So just dragging this in.
Yeah, and then we might just have to do the fill.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, look at sun. That's so cool. I love that.
And then we can add some sort of like text to this to wrap it up.
Let's do it.
So we'll just option, drag this over, and then expand this so it's covering the whole clip. We could say thanks for watching. And then we're just going to make that a little bit smaller, center it. And then we're going to go to align and transform and make sure that it's aligned within our frame. And now let's flip the audio too and make that shorter. I'm also going to add some fade in, fade out to the audio so it's more smooth. And let's take a look. Now
Very cool.
you have a fun Miami looking video.
You got a fun Miami looking video. And that's actually going to put us right at time. So great timing. Shirin, that was so fun. Thank you so much for showing us how to use Firefly to conceptualize, how to edit in Premiere with color grading 101 and editing, and then showing us how we can essentially turn static images into dynamic video to make it more engaging. That was really
Yeah.
fun.
Thanks, Falco.
Yeah.
This was so much fun. You taught me new things that I didn't know before, so thank you so much as well.
Perfect. Yeah. Like I say here on Adobe Live, we're forever students. I'm always learning. We're all learning.
Always.
It's what it's all about. So don't go anywhere though, because we do have a file new show coming up with our one and only Ryan Selvey. So that's going to start in about 3-ish minutes here. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back with Adobe Live. Bye, everybody.
Everyone.